Welcome to Tasting Wine with Andrea Jennifer. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing a wine from one of my favorite vineyards, Castello di Amorosa. And the wine that we're going to be talking about is Morisoli-Borges Vineyard, which is a 2017 Rutherford Cabernet Sauvignon.
Castello di Amorosa, the only authentic medieval 13th century Italian Tuscan castle and winery built in America, officially lowered its bridge for business in April 2007. Castello di Amorosa is nestled in the western hills on 171 acres just minutes south of the Napa Valley town of Calistoga. After several decades of personal adventure, visiting and studying medieval castles and wineries throughout Italy and Europe, Dario Satui, a successful fourth-generation Italian winemaker and entrepreneur, began building Castello di Amorosa in 1994. Over the course of this marathon project, the Castello has evolved to include over 136,000 square feet, including 107 rooms, 90 of which are devoted to winemaking and wine storage, an enormous great hall with two-story replica Tuscan frescoes, painted by Italian artists, and a 500-year-old fireplace. 8,000 tons of hand-chiseled stones, 8 levels, 4 above ground, 4 below, a drawbridge, a dungeon, and torture chamber, medieval church, and arguably the single most impressive wine barrel room in the U.S., with ancient Roman cross-vaulted ceilings. I definitely recommend visiting this castle. It is quite beautiful, and you will never forget the experience.
And so just to really go over what you will be learning on this channel is we'll be teaching, but also I would love it to be interactive. So if I'm missing something, please down below in the comments, let me know if I'm missing something or if there's a wine that you would love for me to review. I will go buy it, I'll taste it, I'll review it, and we'll upload it. I am totally open. So, but today we're going to be reviewing the Morisoli-Borges vineyard, which is a Rutherford blend from Napa. And this vineyard and this particular winery is located in the northernmost point of Napa. And I love this wine so much that I'm actually a member. And in order to get this wine, you have to actually either order it, but you cannot find this wine anywhere in the grocery stores. You have to order it directly from the winery. But we don't just order it, we actually visit because it's such a beautiful place. And the winery itself is a castle. And the recreation of a castle you would probably think to see in Italy. It's just beautiful. It's literally half a day of Napa for you, or it could be a full day, depending how you posture your day at this particular winery. But for me, when I go to this winery, it's my day. You can either do the El Pasito room, which is what our favorite thing to do is we book the El Pasito room where we get to sit in these beautiful plush leather seats, or you sit in a little like cafe style 2-seater, right? But you do have a designated person who will talk to you about the wines you're tasting, and they will actually pour and discuss. And sometimes we feel a little unsure of how to ask questions, and sometimes we're a little embarrassed. And so what we're going to start with is the 8 steps of tasting wine. And I know that that's kind of hard because sometimes we'll go to wineries and we'll just taste wine, but we're not sure what we're supposed to be looking for, smelling, or anything. So we're going to start with the 8 steps of tasting wine. And so the first step is to see your wine. And so what you want to pick up is your glass and really take a look at your wine. Really look at the color of this wine. Really look and see what are you working with? The color, do you detect cloudiness? I don't see any in this wine. This wine is beautiful.
What does cloudiness mean?
Cloudiness means that it's just not that caliber wine, or it's not as well put together as some of the finer wines. You want to see a nice color. You want to see the darkness, the boldness of the color. And so once you do the whole visualization of your wine, then you can move on to the next step, which is my favorite. It's to swirl your wine. And so what you want to do is you want to swirl it counterclockwise, which you delicately swirl it, which then will oxygenate your wine. Or if you go to a vineyard or winery, they'll tell you you're opening it up. So whether you hear the terminology opening it up or oxygenating, it's the same thing. It's interchangeable. So what you're doing is you're opening up all the smells, all of the tastes, all the wonderful bouquets of smells, tastes that you're going to experience on your first sip, swish, or slurp. So here we go. So I think I've swirled it enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the next step, which is to sip. Actually, sorry, it's to sniff. So what we're going to do now that we've it's completely opened, and just so you know, my husband and I typically will decanter our wine an hour before we drink our wine, because we want to give it the full appreciation of everything our wine has to give. And so this particular wine, we have oxygenated it about an hour before pouring it. And so here it is.
Comes up to room temperature.
It does. Room temperature. Room temperature is wonderful. I do not like drinking wine that has a chill to it, especially red cab. Do you?
Not at all.
Not at all. So yeah, I do enjoy a room temperature cab. So what we're going to do now is sniff it. Let's give it a nice deep sniff. So this wine is really opened up. It's super oxygenated. Enunciation, oxygenated. It's not the wine. This is the first time I'm tasting. It's just the enunciation. Oxygenated. It's wonderful.
Once again, just to quickly go over the steps of tasting wine. I mean, you can do it in any order you like, but, I just thought it would be neat to introduce the steps because, for some people, they're not sure what to do. But just quickly take a look at your wine, check the color, swirl it to open it up, and as I said, oxygenate it. Then have a sniff. Get your nose deep in there and see what you smell. You can slurp it, swish it, taste it, and most of all, savor it. Don't forget to savor your wine.
You experience all at one time. And now the next two steps is to slurp and to swish. I am not typically a slurper or a swisher, so let's move on from that. My husband is a swisher, not me. So let's just move on. But if you are a slurp and swisher, go for it. Do that and experience everything that your wine has to offer.
Forewarning, you will get purple teeth.
Purple teeth. Yes, my cameraman, which is my sweet, sweet husband, does always have purple teeth because he loves to swish his wine. Not me. I'll tend to choke after I swish mine. After you swish your wine, you swish and then you swallow, which is the same as after you've slurped, you've sipped, you swished, you swallow. And the beautifulness is, what did you detect? What did you detect in your bottle after those? What did your sensory processing mechanisms detect? Did you detect black currant? Did you detect red raspberry? Did you detect Cassis, which is a black currant, typically found in liqueurs, but you'll find cassis, a hint of cassis in this bottle. Did you detect lead, which is called what winemakers will call graphite, which is not the lead that you would find in paint or the poisonous aspects of your home, not the scary lead, but the lead in the tip of your pencil. Like if you can detect lead in your bottle of wine, you have a really special, expensive bottle of wine. Therefore, those are the 8 steps of tasting your wine. Lastly, what I want to leave you with is a charcuterie board, and we'll go over it really briefly. With a red cab, what you want to pair it with is some extra sharp cheddar cheese, whether it's white, whether it's the orangey version. I'm going to also throw in there some of my Gouda, which I love. Like Gouda isn't necessarily a pairing with cab, but it's my pairing, and I love Gouda, whether it's bacon, whether it's smoked, whether it's plain, whether it's creamy. That's my thing. I love Gouda. And so what you want to do is, you can create a board like this. You can add a little bit of tart cherry spread, or you can add some little gherkins, right? So if it's the end of your day and you just are tired, you don't want to like cook, but you want a nice glass of wine, you've had a long day at work, create your charcuterie board because you deserve that. And it's delicious, and you have spicy meats, you have some nice, delicious Italian meats and some salamis and some delicious different types of, breads. Decide what you want to have, but at the end of the day, it's how you decide to formulate your charcuterie board. And so with this video, I would conclude that we're going to say that this particular wine, in each video I'm going to give a wine a 1 through 10 star rating. And what I want to deliver for this particular wine, which is a Northernmost Point of Napa, is I'm going to give this Morisoli-Borges 2017 Napa Valley Rutherford Cab. I'm going to give this bottle 10 stars. It is an amazing bottle, and I really hope that you guys will, if you're ever in California, or if you ever want to just order from Castello di Amorosa. I am no way affiliated with any of these wineries. This is just my own personal taste. But in the comments below, if you want to tell me about some of your favorite wines, again, I will definitely look at those comments and I will review anything that you have suggestions about, or if you have any other steps that you would like for me to add into this taste, the smell, or the oxygenation, or anything, please comment below and I will definitely look at that and add it into any future videos. Thanks for coming to my channel, and every Saturday I will upload a new video, and you will find happy hour time 5 to 7. You will find my video uploaded sometime between then. So please feel free to invite your friends, open up a bottle of wine, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your husband, whether it's with some friends. On Saturdays, it's about just hanging out and enjoying yourself. So when I'm reviewing wines, I would love for you to actually enjoy your bottle of wine or whatever you're drinking, cocktail or whatever you want to do as well. So it can be a little type of like, not party, but just kind of like a gathering. That would be great. Thanks again for coming to my channel, and I really appreciate you visiting. And again, if you have any input, please comment below. Thanks again. Bye.